Morning. How are you all doing today? So I thought I would do a reading for this weekend, specifically focusing on the energy of the Virgo full moon that's happening tomorrow, February 27th. I think it's at 7 o'clock at night. Excuse me. And what this full moon is about is basically releasing negative, low vibrational energy, trauma, emotions that are stored in the body. Excuse me. And it's really important that you just be with yourself for a few moments this weekend and just think about what it is that you want to release and let go of. You know, perhaps it's past hurts, past traumas, mindsets, or ways of thinking, just emotions that you sort of feel that are bubbling up. Now's the opportunity to set your intentions to kind of skim that off the surface and let them go for good. Because this is a very, very powerful full moon. It's a very transformational full moon. And the energies are so intense right now. It's a perfect opportunity for you to leverage and take advantage of this and really catapult yourself through to the next level by owning and taking accountability and making the choice to put yourself first by saying, yes, I am ready to let this go. And yes, I am ready to create space. And I'm getting chills. I'm ready to create space to allow more goodness to come in. So just keep saying yes. Keep saying yes. I allow. I allow. I allow. Okay. So I thought we would do some card reads. I'm going to do the Sacred Travelers deck, which it's just my favorite. It's so beautiful. So we're going to do that, and then we're going to do a couple of other decks here. So, all right. What do you guys want to know this weekend? I've already saged. I've already grounded. Let's call in our ancestors, our guides, our spirit animals to bring forward the message that is most beneficial to us at this moment. Put a white healing, pink healing light of protection around us. And what is the message for our highest good at this moment that we need to see? What is the message that you would like to provide to us right now? Ancestors, guides, spirit animals, angelic realm, our higher source. We'll do 3 cards. And let's see what comes up, shall we? Do those 2. That's 3. Okay. Holy shit. Transformation. Wise leader. Oh my God, I have chills. Do you know why I'm crying? Whew. Because I got these 3 cards for myself yesterday. Oh my gosh. And I was actually watching MJ over at Soulful Revolution, and she got these messages. She got these exact cards today. Oh my goodness. So clearly this is an important message for us. Transformation. A fresh new way of living emerges. Okay, so I'm going to read this. I apologize. Oh, so this is obviously my emotions that are ready to be released. Oh, that feels so amazing to see. Let's read this because I want to be able to share this just overwhelm and love with you that I'm experiencing. Holy shit. Oh my goodness. Okay. Wow, I get emotional. If you don't know me, that's cool. We're going to get to know each other. But I'm a crier. And when I'm onto something, I cry. So get used to it. Transformation. Let's put this over here. Oops. You are in a time of huge transformation. Old beliefs, ideas, and decisions about who you are and what you deserve in life are dropping away, replaced by incredible vitality and new pathways. Oh my gosh, I was just talking about pathways yesterday. We have the opportunity to create our own path. And by saying yes, the path is going to keep opening up for you. It's your path, your unique, authentic path, your path alone. Nobody else has this path. I mean, me as your coach, I can certainly guide you and support your hand and encourage you along your path, but it's your path and it's nobody else's path. And when you continue to open up to the universe and say, yes, yes, I allow this path to emerge for me, you're going to feel this expansive, like overwhelm, love that you're going in the right direction because it's your path, it's your destiny, it's your soul's purpose. Soon you're going to be experiencing the world in a fresh new way. The sacred traveler wants you to know the journey transforms the traveler. When the traveler arrives at the destination, the traveler is no longer sorry, I can't see because of all my tears. The traveler is no longer the same person who started out. Even if there are some areas that may be murky or unsettled in your life, don't be concerned. This is the confusion that often appears before the rebirth. Like the phoenix that arises majestically from the ashes, a big change in your life is at hand. Don't hold on to the old ways of viewing the world and limited ways of thinking. Be willing to see the world with a fresh new eyes. Change is afoot, and it's all good. So this is the thing. When you allow yourself the freedom and you love yourself enough and you trust yourself enough to say yes to whatever comes forward to you, the path will continue to unfold like the layers of an onion or a lotus flower unfolding or a tulip flower opening up, right? You're not going to see the flower in full bloom at the start of spring. You know maybe instinctively what it's going to look like, but you're not going to see it and appreciate it until you're in that moment. But what you can appreciate is the beauty of it unfolding and the anticipation and the excitement of it unfolding because you're choosing to watch it unfold, okay? Oh my gosh, that's amazing. Okay, so wise leader. You're a beacon for others. And this is the thing, you get to be a lighthouse for others. By saying yes, you're creating more space for yes, which means naturally the no's are just going to fall away. People are going to be drawn to you like a moth to a light. And they're going to want what you have because you're expanding and you're saying yes. And you're being a wise leader without even realizing it. And, oh, that's amazing. You're a leader. You carry wisdom and radiance inspires others. Even if you're not always aware of the depth of wisdom within you, it's emerging by leaps and bounds. This is the time to step into your power and take the role of leadership. You're ready. Grab the reins, make a decision. It's okay if you're not 100% sure. Make the decision anyway. That is what a leader does. Like I said, you cannot see the end of the finish line. You can only see the next 1 or 2 steps in front of you. And that's okay because you're learning how to trust yourself. You're learning to be your own wise leader, which just naturally is going to make you be a leader for others. Okay? And then the gates of triumph. Oh my gosh. Gates of triumph. Success expands in your life. The gates of triumph are waiting to open deep and wide for you. Inner and outer success is coming your way. Thriving is a state of mind. Accept that you can reach any goal you desire, and even more victories will expand in your life. The more you feel it, the more you love it. Prosperity and fame and fortune is going to pour into your life. So that's the thing. Just keep saying yes. Keep allowing yourself to expand and listen to your path, because your path isn't the same as your best friends. It isn't the same as your mom's or your husband's or wives or your teacher or your employer. It's yours. It's your path. And it's scary to listen and trust yourself because sometimes that means changing things in your environment that you might not want to change because you're comfortable. And you know, one of the biggest quotes that I had heard in the last year or so, and I'd never heard this before, and this really stuck with me, is don't be afraid to let go of the good to have the great. So where in your life are you allowing yourself to stay good because you instinctively aren't following your path? And if you just do that little teeny tiny pivot, you're going to pivot and expand, transform, become your wise leader, and open up the gates of triumph to great. It's coming. It's so fucking coming for you. And all you need to do is listen to yourself and follow that path. You can do it. I know you can. All right, so we're going to pull some cards from the Threads of Fate. And what I'm going to do here is see what we need to work on from a shadow perspective. So basically, we're going to pull 3 cards. And we're going to see what needs to be healed. Whoops, what you're not seeing. What's the shadow of what you're not seeing that needs to be healed. And then what's the outcome if you focus on that shadow work. How's that sound? Okay. We'll do one more shuffle. Okay. What needs to be healed? What needs to be healed? What needs to be healed? We'll just pull 3 cards. Okay. I keep getting this card this week. Take the risk. I think I actually have a reading from it before. Okay, so I got take risk, the Magi, and reflect. So what needs to be healed is take a risk. Okay, so oops. Hang on a second. I think I just accidentally locked you guys out. There. All right. Risks are personal to each one of us. To some, climbing a mountain doesn't feel risky. To others, having a conversation with a stranger does. What has been calling you that you have been afraid to do? Comfort kills growth. It's important that we regularly do things that push the envelope, that make us feel nervous, apprehensive, and uneasy, with the exception of physical danger, of course. This card is asking you to take the plunge and do things that intimidate you. Trust that the net will appear after you jump. I think the biggest roadblock to growth and change is being comfortable. Comfortable is safe, it's secure, it's predictable, even if it's not amazing, or maybe it is pretty good, but it's not great. So think about in your life, where are you being comfortable? And, where are you instinctively knowing that things maybe aren't quite lined up? I mean, it might not be a big miss. It just might be 1 or 2 degrees off. But that little tiny pivot, just like with the Sacred Travelers, that little teeny tiny pivot is all you need to make the spark, and it's going to open up this whole new world for you. You just have to take a risk, pivot, follow your yes, and not be afraid to go forward. And maybe it's a little teeny tiny baby step. You don't have to climb the mountain all at once, because remember, the journey only opens and unfolds to you as you're ready to see it. So what is the one little tiny pivot you can make in your life today that you can uncomfortably do, take ownership and control of within yourself, and own and allow yourself to just ever so slightly open yourself up to saying more yes, right? And then that's going to allow you to go on a deeper healing of the Magi. I actually haven't gotten this card, so I don't know what this one says. So I'm excited to read. It's a beautiful card. I'll show it to you in a sec again. So this is the shadow. Of being able to take the risk. The Magi indicates a period when you need to look deeper. It's asking you to examine what you think you know and then keep going. Throughout our lives, we build an infrastructure of beliefs that allow us to navigate life, but so often this system is built on top of shaky foundation or out of weak materials. In other words, it's time to question that which you have never noticed. What beliefs inform your decisions, passions, and ambitions? The Magi is a seer of illusion, and in turn, they are able to cut through the fog and get to work. The Magi may see the world similar to a mirrored funhouse. They see the core of each experience and are able to acknowledge how many different realities exist in a single moment. Being able to see these many realities is a gift. It teaches us to be less attached to a single road, but instead to see where all the roads meet. If we are courageous enough to see and to be open to our life unfolding along any of the various roads, we invite a magic that few get to experience. Even a balanced Magi can frustrate people. They have some trickster energy in them that they can see the bigger picture and may know the answer, but they will present the information to you in a way that may spin your head. They are gifted with words, and everything they see can have multiple meanings. When the Magi is unbalanced, they can be very manipulative after seeking. They may talk down to others as they believe themselves to be greater or more knowledgeable, rather than present information meant to challenge others, in expectations that it will ultimately be empowering. The unbalanced Magi will present information in a way that is meant to make the other person feel small. In fact, they maybe enjoy the fact that the others don't understand. So, what I'm getting from this is we all have the ability to be leaders, be teachers, be guides, first for ourselves and then just naturally for others. And there's a fine line between being open and expansive and compassionate and non-judgmental and non-manipulative and non-condescending and non-superior versus that little 1 or 2 degrees where you may have inherited a sense of superiority or inferiority from your family dynamic. You may have inherited a layer of manipulation without even realizing it, just to get what you want. Or maybe you can't get what you want because you don't know how to ask for it. And so, when I read this is the opportunity for us to go deep, to look at the shadows of the Virgo full moon, let go of that emotion, but go really deep on who you uniquely are, and what are those little tiny nuances with you that may pivot or tweak your life one direction or the other. They might make you externally a more deeply loving, compassionate friend, or they might just ever so slightly make you a little bit more disconnected and a little bit more self-centered, and not as engaged as a friend. And you're externally, people aren't going to know this. This is you instinctively knowing 1 or 2 degree pivot of who you are and what you deeply believe in is going to pivot you to lead a life based on fear and comfort and predictableness versus 1 or 2 degrees and pivot and go towards love, unpredictable, expansive. You cannot control it. But you've got the opportunity to go deep and ask yourself the question, where are you limiting yourself to be great by holding on to the safe and predictable good? It's not serving you because it's keeping you out of alignment with your true essence. And then when you do, and you look at this, then you get the opportunity to reflect. Without a reflective practice, we end up repeating the same patterns over and over again, unable to reach our potential. This card asks you to sit in silence for a few moments and to reflect upon what has been coming up for you recently. What emotions do you find yourself experiencing continuously? What situations do you find yourself in? If you are finding unease in any area of your life, have you experienced it before? When? When was the first time you remember feeling this way? How did your family handle these sorts of situations? When you were young. Consider journaling about these. Allow whatever questions and answers need to come up. And when we reflect, the intention is to not fix. It's to simply view ourselves and our lives with less bias and more openness. And I think that's the thing is, especially during this Virgo full moon, I encourage you to take the risk and to look at those little tiny nuances within you that are holding you back from expanding, because it's all you know, right? It's the life that you've inherited from your parents, your situation, your circumstances, your ancestors. It's in your DNA, and that's totally cool. There's nothing wrong with you. We are all beautifully, amazingly, perfectly perfect. We've just been taught and learned things that are keeping us out of alignment. And when you take the risk and you go and you allow yourself the opportunity to look at those pieces, those shadows that are kind of keeping you out of alignment, it's going to give you an opportunity to go deep and reflect and say to yourself, you know what, this doesn't sit with me. I'm ready to let go of this emotion within me that doesn't feel right anymore. I can see it now and I don't like it. And it's holding me back because I'm out of alignment. And I don't need to be perfect. We're never perfect. We are as we are supposed to be. But what this is doing is it's allowing yourself to accept and to love and to have more compassion for yourself. And when you do that, you just naturally have more compassion for others and more love. And so, especially during this Virgo full moon, this is an amazing opportunity to look at those emotions that have probably been with you your whole life, that have guided you. And maybe they don't feel right. They're not aligned on your path. And so now's your opportunity to skim off the surface, those emotions that aren't serving you, and to reflect and appreciate that you have the ability to see this and to do it and to own it and to love it and to level up. So I hope this has been a good reading for you. This has been amazing for me. And I wish you love. Lots and lots and lots of love. Have a great weekend, everybody.